Hello everyone, this is Theo and Ruru. We will be introducing you to the project of UMEMOTO Studio, INUJIMA Ecocultural Island.
INUJIMA is a small island located in the Seto Inland Sea in Japan, surrounded by other famous islands, Teshima and Naoshima. The size of the island, which will be our site, is comparably similar but smaller than Prospect Park in Brooklyn.
The design goal of this studio is to reimagine the island to be an extensive ecoculture park, while exploring the triangulated relationships between the existing culture of the island, the environmental geographical qualities of the island structure, and the energy resources for the island, such as thermodynamic engines.
We started off with analyzing the paintings of Hieronymus Bosch by realizing the relationships indicated in the painting. We were to develop an understanding of the system and make models to represent it and further use those relationships in our later designs.
Some of the examples like mine explores with watercolor paper structure qualities when it's wet and reshape it when it dries, then extract the structure by tracing with a 3D printing pen.
On the other hand, I make grids on the styrene sheet first and then reshape them with heat. Then I pin the nails on both sides to imagine them as tubes spraying geothermal on the bottom and plants on the top. Some of our classmates also tested the qualities of fabrics with tension, cables to restrain paper, tension from 3D printed joints in casted silicone.
There are also ones that reformed metal sheets with magnets and other forms of force, as well as sticks inside silicone and fabrics to control the forms. Moving on, we developed a system to rebuild the island into simple mosaic geometries and reattach them back. After forming the newly shaped island, we applied our early experiments onto the combined mosaics to blend our programs and spaces into the island itself. In my model, the extracted 3D print structure became a secondary structure that hangs over the island and creates voids between the ground and the seams for the programs to sit in.
In this model, I peel off the island ring by ring and recreate some spaces from the original one. Afterward, I made the styrene sit on it and heat it, so the styrene will react to the rebuilt island, which creates the space in between. In Shika's model, the casted silicone layer engages with the island, while the sticks serve as structural elements that shape the silicone.
C, on the other hand, used the actual sticks as joints to connect different layers of surfaces and control the open spaces between them. She also ties the program with the trails of travel closely. Harvey used metal mesh simulated by magnet suction and thrust, and added organic creases to fill the original side deformation after folding by fragmentation, forming a new passage, dome, or atrium space.
For gems, the material agency from silicone, wire, plastic nodes allows for part of the paper surface model to angle and inform possibilities for the gradiated indoor-outdoor programs. Kelly used different sewing methods to control the shape and creases of the fabric and arranged a different program for the spaces that were created, then combined it all over the site with the art trial that also followed with the crease.
Eugene made the form of the model with steel mesh which can easily bend with porosity features and proposed the boundary of space by using wire as a submaterial. With this freeform, it intertwined the site with the model and shows new boundaries of the space. Nuha's project intersects with the moving elements, sun, water, wind, and people. The framework of investigation and design generation is about the question of how does horizontality emerges? How can we weave horizontality? To plug into the topography and the condition of the ground, creating a heterarchy between nature, landscape, and architecture.
As for Sarah, by using the diagram system, the wires become a tool to manipulate the field, giving this peeling off the ground effect. The created model is the airy, fluid form that is both opaque and yet transparent. Min used the fusion of mesh and silicone to form a new hybrid material, and then used wire to the material to give them a kind of force. For the site, she disassembled it into a triangular grid, created a form of cracks, and combined it with the model. Jade made balloons under the dry plaster wrapper that creates a dynamic form. The gaps and valleys formed by those shapes can be well used as circulation and program spaces.
That concludes our progress. Thanks for watching.